Hello, and welcome to the 16th lecture on Chapter 15 of Kotler's Marketing Management, Designing and Managing Distribution Channels. So, we are still in the part 6 of Kotler's Marketing Management, delivering value. And what we are doing, as we have been doing in all the other lectures, is to help you recap the concepts taught in this Chapter 15, Designing and Managing Distribution Channels, answer any questions that have been asked at the end of this chapter, and give the solutions to the two cases given at the end of the chapter in the form of the answers to the assignments given. So Kotler starts by talking about the role of distribution channel, and he says these channels are a set of interdependent organization, independent as well as interdependent organization participating in the process of making the offerings available for use or consumption. What do these members do? They buy, they take title to, and then they resell the merchandising to wholesalers and retailers. Agents search for customers. There are two different types: merchants and agents. Merchants take title to and resell the merchandise, as mentioned above, and agents search for customers, negotiate on behalf of producer, but do not take title to goods. Then there is a third type called facilitator, who basically assists distribution process, but neither take title nor negotiate purchase or sales. Now, one of the chief roles of these members of distribution channel is to convert potential buyers into profitable customers. They also make goods widely available and accessible to target market, offering more effectiveness and efficiency than if you were to do it on your own. What are the functions of the distribution channel? And Kotler talks about six of them here: gathering information about potential and current customers, competitors, and other forces. Developing and disseminating persuasive communication, basically to stimulate purchase and foster brand loyalty. Negotiating and reaching agreements on prices and other terms for transfer of ownership. Arranging funds to finance the inventories that they would carry. Taking the risk for carrying out the channel work by taking the title of the goods, and providing buyer with financing and facilitate payment. The channel function can best be illustrated in the form of flows of goods and services across distribution channel that you will see in the next slide. It's a nice slide. Take a look. So if you look at this reasonably crowded chart, there are six types of flows on the left hand side: physical flows, title flows, payment flows, information flow, and promotion flows that go on from the starting in the middle, from the manufacturer to the various intermediaries, like the physical flows, transporters, dealers, again transporters to customers, and the title flows back. Title flows from the manufacturer to the dealers to customers. The payment flows back from customers to banks to dealers to banks to manufacturer. Information goes both the ways, and the promotion flows happen from the manufacturer. And in this channel, there's also included the suppliers on the left hand side, who provide the goods and services for the manufacturing of the products and services that, as a manufacturer, you would be making. The Kotler again describes in a nice chart that you see here the channel levels, and he illustrates this by two examples of consumer marketing channel and industrial marketing channels. And the channels are basically describe a number of intermediaries between the producers and the final customer. And there is zero level, one level, two level. Zero level supplies directly, the manufacturer supplies to the customer. One level has a manufacturer giving to a retailer, and there is one more level added in two level of our industrial in the consumer products. Similarly, in industrial marketing, there are different levels in case these are manufacturers reps or industrial distributors. He then talks about the concept of multi-channel distribution, which we see basically defines as using two or more marketing channels to reach customers in a target area. And but he says that when doing the multi-channel distribution, you are prone to channel conflicts, excessive cost, or insufficient design demand can happen. Uh, But at the same time, multi-channel customers can be more valuable to to marketers. You can choose a new or conventional channel. You are actually sometimes forced to choose a new or unconventional channel because of the difficulty, cost, or ineffectiveness of working with a dominant channel. As channels become dominant, they tend to become pricey and difficult to work with, and that's the time you can look at a new and alternative channel. Three important benefits of working with multi-channel distribution: increased market coverage. You can reach all possible areas. It lowers your channel cost through a combination of high cost and low cost channel, and ability to do more customized selling. Should use different channels for different sizes of business or target customers, because one channel may not be able to reach all possible target markets that you have in mind. What are the channel management decisions? And he basically lists five here. Starts with establishing objectives, then evaluating major channel alternative, identifying and evaluating, choosing a channel system. What will be your channel system? Then selecting, training, motivating, and evaluating the intermediaries that will form the part of your channel system, and modifying channel designs and arrangements as you go over a period of time. How do you go about establishing channel objectives? He says you broadly three areas: the number of customers to reach, service output levels that you want to provide, and cost and support levels that is needed. You can identify several market segments based on the desired service and choose the best channel for each. Channel objectives will vary with product characteristics, the markets, the services that you offer. Also, he says you must adapt channel objective to larger environment and consider legal and regulations and restrictions. He then goes on to identify major channel alternatives. Four of them he has identified in his book: exclusive distribution, selective distribution, intensive distribution, and franchising. In exclusive distribution, you severely limit the number of intermediaries. It is appropriate more when you need more knowledgeable people as well as more dedicated efforts of the retailers, and you need close partnership working with them. So you need few, and includes exclusive territory agreement mostly. And the selective distribution is you have some but not all of the intermediary carrying your product. Includes retailer that compete for the same customer. So you would have that kind of scenario in this. Intensive distribution is you place your offering in as many as outlets as possible, covering the universe as you can, and is suitable for product that consumers buy frequently or in variety of locations possible, as many locations as possible. Franchising is a variation of exclusive distribution in which you have a tightly knit group of enterprises whose systematic operations are planned, directed, and controlled by the franchise. A lot more control than even exclusive distribution. How do you motivate channel members? You need to determine the needs and want. And he says even you should consider not even in terms of your customers, but also the channel members. How do you provide superior value to them? How do you provide them the superior value? Carefully implemented training, marketing research, and other capability programs can motivate the channel members. Communication is a key thing. You must continuously, constantly communicate with members. And there are multiple ways to exert your power over them to elicit cooperation. Coercive, you can force them at time. You can reward them to do what you want them to do. If it is a regulatory issue, you can use legal power. And if you are very good, they will listen to you. And sometimes your sheer brand power can become a referent power to get you what you want from the channel members. What are the types of channel partnership? Three types he mentions: conventional, vertical marketing systems, and horizontal market. Conventional consists of independent producers, wholesalers, retailers. Each seeks to maximize his own profit, even at the cost of the whole system. And here the coordination happens when some members come together to advance the goals of the channel. Vertical marketing systems are basically producer-led, where producer, wholesaler, retailer acting as unified system. In conventionally, one channel member, which is the producer, acts as a channel captain and directs the behavior and the desired outcomes of the rest of the channel members. There are three types. One is corporate vertical system. There's administered. There's a contractual. Corporate is driven by the corporates. Administered is one of them takes the responsibility of administering this coordination, and second is a contract that you have between the members. Horizontal marketing system or channel systems are when two or more unrelated companies come together, put their resources in programs to exploit an emerging market opportunities. How do you evaluate channel members? You must periodically evaluate them against such standards as sales targets achievement, average inventory levels that they carry versus what you need, customer delivery times versus the standards, how they treat damaged goods and lost goods, and cooperation in promotional and training programs. To add or drop a individual to drop it specifically channel member individual company needs to ask them do what is called an incremental analysis. What would be firm's sales and profit with or without this intermediary? And even for adding a channel member, you can do that. Channel conflicts and cooperation is one of the key things that you need to learn about. Both of these occur when one channel member's action prevents other from achieving, especially the channel conflict. Also caused by distribution offering through different channels. One of the major source of channel conflicts is that manufacturers desire to sell directly to customer. And the whole goal is to reduce the channel conflict by minimizing the friction between the channel members. What is the nature of channel conflicts? Three types of conflicts. Horizontal channel conflicts occur between channel members at the same level, same retailers, same wholesalers. Vertical, that happens between the different levels, between manufacturers, wholesalers, retailers. Multi-channel conflicts exist between the manufacturers that has established two or more channels that sell the same market. Causes of channel conflicts. Most common reasons for channel conflicts are goal incompatibility. You pursue different goals. Manufacturer is running for volumes. The distributor is running for profitability. Differences in strategies and tactics. You differ on these. Power imbalance. Distributors become a lot more powerful, and you are not able to manage them. And unclear roles and rights. How do you manage channel conflicts? Yes, some amount of conflicts can be, he says, is constructive, but not too much. That can be dysfunctional. The whole idea is not to eliminate, but to minimize it. And the common mechanisms that he suggests to use to minimize or manage channel conflicts is strategic justification. Sit together, figure out what is the long-term strategy, and is follow that and agree on that. Dual compensation, if it's a question of money. Superordinate goals is a particular way that you work together, find a long-term goal that all of you work, all of them. Employee exchange, when you send your employees to the channel members, get their employees to see from both the points. Joint membership in the areas of some associations so that you have a common perspective. Co-optation, diplomacy, mediation, and arbitration, and finally legal recourse. He then starts talking about the marketing logistics, which he defines as planning the infrastructure to meet the demand, as well as implementing and controlling the physical flows. It's all about physical flows. Typically, it starts in the factory, and you need to choose in these between a set of warehouses and transporter carrier. It's a part of the broader concept of supply chain management that which starts before the physical distribution. Includes strategic sourcing of right materials, inputs, and the conversion and the dispatches at the factory level. Even looks at how suppliers source their inputs, and that can add a lot of value for you as a manufacturer. Helps and identify superior suppliers and distributors for better productivity and cost. What are the objectives of marketing logistics? Must make decisions on total system basis. Start with what customer wants, obviously, and what competitors are offering. Customers require on-time delivery, help meet emergency needs, careful handling of merchandise, and quick returns and replacement of defective goods. Then, in this setting objective, you then research on the relative importance of these service outputs, consider the comparative standards, and ultimately establish some promise, some standard that you will define for the market. What are the key market logistic decisions? Four of them. How shall we handle orders? Where should we locate our stocks? How much stock should we keep? And how should we ship goods? Let's look at each of these quickly. The order processing, the whole objective should be to shorten the order to payment cycle, right from receiving the order to receiving payment. It has many steps: order transmission, entry, customer credit check, inventory and production scheduling, order and invoice shipping, and receipt of payment. Longer this cycle, lower the customer satisfaction and the company's profit. Warehousing, the company needs to store finished goods till they are sold because the production and consumption cycles rarely match. Uh, there is you can use central warehousing where the cost is an issue and you need to reduce warehousing costs. And if the issue is to an objective is to increase customer service, decentralizing warehousing could be a good option. Uh, the warehousing team can also take on activity done in plants, including assembly, packaging, and construction of promotion displays to add value. Warehousing needs to focus on cost savings and matching the offering more closely to demand. How do you manage inventory in terms of how much inventory to keep? The inventory that you carry, the cost of that increases at an accelerating rate as the desired level of customer satisfaction approaches 100%. So the first thing is you can't go for 100%. So you need to know if you carry large inventory, how much profit would you increase and what is the benefit that you would have. You must know what is your reorder point at the point at which you need to place a new order to get stock in your factory or in your warehouses. Reorder point should balance the risk of stock out versus the cost of overstocking. Also need to balance order processing cost and inventory carrying cost. In principle, he advises to centralize slow moving and decentralize fast moving, and that's a good advice based on my personal experience also. JITs, though fashionable, can be used only when you have uninterrupted supply chain. You need very high level of very high reliable supply chain. The last decision on transportation, you can choose there are a variety of modes: rail, truck, waterways, and pipeline and air. You need to consider speed, frequency of the available of shipments, dependability, capability, availability, traceability, and cost to decide which mode to use. Containerization makes combination of two or more transportation feasible. Like you could use air and truck, you could use waterways and truck. So containerization is making that possible. You can choose between the private contract and common carriers. Private is that you own yourself. Contract is you have a long-term contract. A common is that's available in the market. Crating techniques is one interesting thing he mentions. You must use the right crating techniques based on the size, weight, and fragility of the offering so that your goods reach in good condition. So, having looked at the distribution and the physical logistics, what do we do next? So, we will look at, as we've been doing in all the lectures, two cases, Zara and Titan here. I'd like you to take a look at these cases, do it for yourself, then, and these are given in the assignments in this attached to this lecture. And once you do the cases on your own, come back and tally your notes with what we have, how we have done. Learn from that. If you have any questions, come back and send us a message to talk or chat so that you can learn the application a lot better. Thank you so much for watching the 16th lecture on Chapter 15 of Kotler's Marketing Management, Designing and Managing Distribution Channel. Hope you have continued to recap this chapter well from Kotler, enjoying it, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture.